On today's episode of Watch Chair Go, we work on my 2019 Goldwing DCT Tour. And then, hopefully, I say goodbye to it forever. What is going on, guys? I'm Watch Chair Go, and today we're here in the garage. Yeah, I should be working on the Audi, but the parts are still on the way. I ordered them like while I was at SEMA. I was sitting in the Overland Expedition area, and I was like, let's call Audi and order all the parts for that. So those are still on the way. I haven't had an update yet. I assume that the new cat and exhaust manifold and all the gaskets will be here soon. And then I need to work on that. And the problem with working on that is this. And this thing is just taking up all this space in the middle of my garage because it is thick with 2 C's. So I'd like it to go away. And you know, honestly, I'd like to sell it. Everyone's gonna say, why would you sell that bike? You just bought it. Of course, I've said that I would sell it a couple times before. The reason I bought it is because while we were at Car Week, the BMW K or whatever, you know, the sport touring bike that just reset the cross-country record sold for $5,000. And I was like, man, you know, a BMW with like a 1600cc or a 1200cc engine and, you know, heated grips and a heated seat just set that record and sold for nothing. Why don't I just go buy a brand new Goldwing and beat the record? Well, I went and bought a brand new Goldwing, fully intending just to beat the record. It's wrapped in matte camo, which makes it really hard for laser guns to pick it up. I mean, they can aim for the headlight, but I can overlay all that with matte, and we were gonna finish the wrap up, and you know, I've got basically everything to do it. And then I went on Ironbutt, did that 1,000-mile ride in one day, and the only thing going through my head halfway through that journey was, there's no chance I'm doing 2,500 miles in like 30 hours or whatever the record is. I think the record's about 32 or 36. It's in that range, I forgot. But it was reset, the record was reset in May. And you know, one of my goals is always to go beat those big records like that. The motorcycle one, I don't need to beat anymore. I mean, riding this 1,000 miles, that seat hurts. You know, people complain about the seat. If there's any complaint, greatest bike I've ever owned, most fun thing to ride on the planet. It just goes down the road. But 500 miles in one day and it starts to really hurt. And there's an upgraded seat for $1,000, but who knows if that's gonna fix the problem. And I don't like to be spending $1,000 bills when I don't know whether they're gonna fix the problem or not. So instead, let's sell the bike. But before we sell the bike, it needed something for all these trips. And what it needed for the last trip, actually, would have given me a lot of peace of mind, was my radar detector mounted on the windshield. But there's no 12-volt accessory socket on this bike. So I bought the OEM Honda one. It is a 08U79-MKC-A00. I'll drop a link in the description below to this bad boy. But everyone's like, why wouldn't you just buy a $5 one from AutoZone? Well, pretty simple. This one is $20. Here we go. Come on, girl. You know how that plastic only gets stronger as you pull on it? That's what that is. The bike is pre-drilled for this. It's waterproof. It has a very nice rubberized lid and a very nice backing nut. So why on earth would you buy a $5 one when you could buy a Honda OEM one for 20 bucks and it drops right in and plugs directly into the wiring harness. This bike is pre-wired for everything. I don't know if I ever got to talk about the accessories the way I wanted to, but this bike's accessories are mind-blowing. And one of my favorite ones that needed to go in with this, but it's really expensive, it was $200 for 2 LEDs that light up as you walk up to the bike. And I mean, you know me, there's nothing I want more than lights that light up as you approach. And that's tied into, there's a light in the middle of the ignition rotating switch. It's like a multifunction switch because obviously there's no key. As you walk up to the bike with the Goldwing key in your pocket, it just glows on. Those LED approach lights were tied into that, and they point down right here, and they light up the sides of the bike as you walk up. And that would be really cool. It's all pre-drilled, it's all built into the wiring harness, you just have to buy the lights. But at the same time, Goldwing accessories are a racket, and if you want to outfit the bike with all the toys that you want as soon as you get the bike, it's about $2,000, $3,000 more dollars. And if you want that seat for $5,000, and yeah, I'm very happy I don't have $30,000 wrapped up in this thing. So if you'd like to buy the bike, please hit me up, shoot me an email. That said, let's get to drilling some holes in the bike. So I'm gonna slide the bike forward. We're gonna pop off this big plastic panel here, the radiator or the knee cover there on the bike. And then we're gonna pull out a couple more pieces of plastic and that thing should just install very easily. We'll go through the whole process right now. And we're gonna do it the easy way. We're not gonna take off the whole control panel surround. All you need for this job is a step bit or a unibit, and you gotta have a Milwaukee driver for that. And I would say some assorted Allen wrenches and maybe a trim tool to pop out a couple fasteners. But it shouldn't take us long to get into this. Let's get started. I've had some of this bike apart before, but I don't remember where all the fasteners were at. And I also don't think I had to take this all the way off. We just popped off like some of the smaller panels and wrapped those. I've got to pull the mirror, which is that fastener right there. There's a fastener there, one around here, but I don't think there's too much more other than that. So I think they're all 5s, which is nice. Thank you, Honda. Do this gently so I don't drop any of them with one hand. And you know that thing I just said about dropping them? It's okay, I recovered it. Get this mirror cover off. There we go, there's a little snap, and that comes right off. Okay, so now I assume this comes right off. Something's holding it right there, like a little snap tab. Bonus for whoever buys this thing, the e-brake didn't work at all when I bought it, and it was just adjusted by the dealer, and it works wonderfully now. So actually really nice to have the e-brake when you're parking on hills. All right, I pulled out most of the fasteners on this panel, I think. There were a couple up front, and let's see if I can get this guy out of here. I'm just kind of prying along as I go. And I think there's like one more snap right there. We've got this little push fastener right there. Pop that guy in. And try not to drop it, of course. It looks like it's pretty loose here. We just have to figure out what, like there's 1 or 2 more fasteners. I'm just kind of working through it, trying to figure out what has to come off. So I think I have every fastener out of here that matters. I don't know, but I don't see any more fasteners, and it started to kind of come right here. So we're just going to pull hard. All right, Honda. I guess that's how it's done. It all just snaps together. So yeah, no tabs fell down or anything like that. Cool. Now to get the front off of here. All right. So this thing should be free. There it goes. Huh. As you can see, everything looks great. We're gonna drill a hole right up inside this cigarette lighter, or the accessory port goes right there, and it plugs in right up in here. So I'm gonna start digging around. Oh, it might be that plug right there, actually. So inside the fairing here, you can see the ECU shoved right up in there, which is kind of cool. And there's 2 plugs, one there, one there. I think this plug is the lighter, and we should be able to test that theory by just plugging it in real quick and finding out that that's not true because it doesn't fit. So it must be this one. Make my life easy, I'm gonna pull this connector off real quick. Turns out it is a big deal and it's not easily done with one hand, but I cut it out, and now we can connect that thing. Obviously you don't want to connect it until your holes are drilled and everything's wired correctly, but now I know which plug it is, and it's just easier if you pop off the little bracket that's holding it on. This is definitely the shortcut method for doing this. I'm sure Honda in the book recommends disassembling the whole bike to get this out, and you have to take all of this off and go on and on and on and on. But if you can see right there where I cleaned it with my fingers, there's a center mark and then a little outline of a hole. What we're gonna do is we're gonna stick this drill bit in my drill, back drill a tiny little pilot hole, come in with the step drill from the front, and upsize until we get to the right size. And I'll just go real slow. I'm sure we'll nail it. It's also keyed, and then we can use a file to match the key that's drawn inside that thing. Let's check our fit. Where's that key? Right there at the top is where the key goes. You could do this with a hand file really quickly, but it was easier to grab the fine tool. Cool fact about the OEM lighter, there's a drain hole in the bottom of it. You can see light through there. I had no idea. There's my hole, it's cut, there's a little key in it. Well, now all that's left is the fun part, buttoning all this up, and it comes with 2 nice zip ties to put everything together. I've got the nut hanging right inside there. So we'll go ahead and put this thing in real quick. Now we can make our connection. Put our connector back where it snaps in right there. And this job is done other than the zip ties. So now I'm gonna start snapping everything back together. just had this brilliant idea that I probably should have tested that socket before I buttoned the entire thing up. I usually trust myself, but who knows how this thing is wired, and I just hope that's all correct. So, oh, look at that. It works. We've got power. So that answers that question. I'm not going to run the V1 on here. It's actually a little too exposed of a radar detector, I think. But that's it. That's how you install the accessory socket without doing a bunch of work like taking off all of this upper housing, cowling stuff there. It's pretty simple, and honestly, now that I've done it, I bet I could do it in like 20 minutes instead of the like 40 minutes that it took me, because I was taking my time and kind of seeing where each fastener is. Now I know what to do. Take out, you know, what, 3 little push pins, 2 5s, pull out those 2 5s, pull out this piece that's really hard to get out, a couple more 5s, I think, and then just pull hard. You know, and the mirror has to be off, so you got a 5 there, 2 8s, but it's a really quick and easy job. And if you were doing the puddle lights actually go right here, and you drill a hole and they shine down to illuminate the footboards and all that good stuff. So that's it. That's hopefully the end of my saga with the Goldwing. Who knows? If it doesn't sell, I do love this bike. I have no problem with it at all. It's one of my favorite things to go hop on and just cruise around. But if it sells, I won't be upset either. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the Hypewing. I know I did. And now I just need room back for my R8 build here. It's moving no matter what. We'll probably switch places with the engine that's at Gabe's and this for now, if nothing else. So I hope you guys enjoyed the Hypewing. Thank you so much for watching, and please like, share, subscribe, do whatever you want to do, and I will talk to you next time. Oh man, radar detectors on a bike. It's so cool, especially this thing, because it gets out of hand real fast. You just find yourself going pretty quick on this thing. It's so easy to ride, you know? Also, it really needs a detail after, what, 5,000 miles? Oh yeah, that's a good detail. 2,000 miles on the tire, 5,000 on the bike.